Let me know.
They got tech knowledge that we don't have. They might know some shit. Wait, what's going on? Oh, shit. Yeah, I gotta put that. Oh no. They live. What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. Reserved for the best. It's super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comics. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. Yeah, I gotta cut out that part, the part about selling comics, because I don't sell comics no more. What's up, y'all? It is the sixth element of hip hop. You're in the right place. I'm your host, Reno Noir. This is our co-host, Stu Dog and Sada. Welcome, guys. How y'all doing?
Peace.
Word up. This is DC, man. This is DC Power Hour, where we just talk DC, man. We talk DC films, DC, comics, shows, whatever it may be. And I know Stu's only gonna be here for a little 30 minutes, but we got a lot to talk about, man. And we'll start it off with I think the best thing that we've heard so far about that Flash film that apparently is gonna happen still. So pretty much it's all been crap news, but one thing I really hated about the Snyderverse, well, not the Snyderverse, well, yeah, the whole Snyder thing was Flash. I thought Ezra Miller played Barry Allen very neurotic and clumsy and just not very Barry Allen-ish. But that bicycle helmet and that armored it was just horrible. I hated that. Very bad representation of Flash. So I'm very happy to announce that they've got a new one. They've got a new suit that I think fits a lot better, to the comic book, iteration of Flash. It's got it doesn't have the bicycle helmet. It's got a molded single piece instead of like little plates of separate pieces of armor and whatnot. So a lot of that is like mad comic accurate. And I'm me personally, I'm happy about that because that was something that really bothered me because I like the Flash, man. I'm a big Flash fan, and that costume was it just hurt my eyes, man. That Ezra Miller and the way he. So hopefully, hey, I mean, what do y'all think? What do y'all think about the new joint?
I thought that was for the season for the Flash
for the show.
And then
for the CW show.
And yeah. And then I looked. I seen that the thumbnail was like Ezra. I was like, that's what it's gonna look like.
I would like to see some side angles, maybe, and a little bit more of a straight on, and see what the head looks like more because we can't see it all. But I do think it's definitely showing that this is not like that bicycle helmet look that he's got, and I mean, clearly it's one solid onesie, more like the comics instead of chunks of little plates of armor and things like that. So for the comic accuracy, man, I think it hits a lot better. This picture makes it look a little pink, but I think that's just the blue lighting in the background and stuff mixing with the red. So I wouldn't worry about that.
And it's not bad looking. It's not bad looking.
It's not.
It's better than what we got in the last movie.
It's better than the Snyderverse flat. That's all I can say about it. It's better than the Snyderverse with the bicycle helmet, man. So any improvement is a good improvement. But it's a lot. I mean, that movie, man, it's a lot behind that movie. It's a lot of, baggage and all of that behind it. And, so, but I guess they're dead set against canceling it and they're going to make sure it comes out. But during the licensing expo in Vegas was when they displayed the new superhero uniforms from their upcoming slate of film schedule for the next few years, and that was the Ezra Miller costume for the Flash. Um, and there's some more. I mean, they did a couple of more. There in Justice League, there's a new event. And this is more about the mysterious film showing how the speedster costume will change after his last appearance in Justice League. Because in Justice League, Miller sported that bicycle helmet, techno looking version of the Flash. Looked like it was made from all these several different metallic parts, highlighting how that version of Flash was ready to use armor pieces to protect himself in combat. But the new uniform designed by Alexandra Byrne sticks very close to the comics, going in the opposite direction. Instead of being made of several moving parts, it's a single red piece. Looks like rubber, and the costume, has a lighter tone of red, so not sort of burgundy like in Snyderverse. That's another counterpart from the comics. And then instead of reusing darker tones from Justice League, they're going with a more bright, comic version. And also the symbol in the middle of the costume is straight from the comics. You got the yellow lightning bolt centered in the circle rather, in the white circle. In Justice League, he had the Holy dropped the ring in favor of a totally different design, and I don't know. But besides Miller, the Flash's cast also does include Michael Keaton as Batman, Kiersey Clemens as Iris West, Mary Bell Verdue as Nora Allen, and Ron Livingston as Harry Allen. Replacing Billy Crudup as Barry's father after his appearance in Justice League. So, and I'm a fan of Billy Crudup. Like, I don't know what it is about Billy Crudup, but his role, I think it was that movie Almost Famous. He just killed that shit. I was like, this is like the coolest dude, man. I liked him, man. And he was in The Watchmen. He was in The Watchmen. So they're replacing him. Sasha Cale will also be showing up as Supergirl. And then, because she had her new uniform revealed earlier as well. There's a social media star, Rudy Mancuso, and Cerise Monica Jackson are also involved in the project on undisclosed roles, so I don't know what they're doing really. But the Flash is directed by Andy Muschietti from a screenplay by Bumblebee's Christina Hodson, and Warner Brothers is keeping the lid shut on the Flash's production. The upcoming film promises to change DC's superheroes' future in cinema. So I think that they're actually using this movie in some way to connect or somehow convert to the new DCU, or at least end this universe in some way, or some way of segueing. Because we still have a whole year before this movie comes out, which is absurd. I don't know why they don't just put the fucking thing out. But there are 3 other DC films were released last year, and then we just saw Black Adam, and then what? Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Then that solo Batgirl movie that got crushed, and yeah, Keaton is also was also supposed to be in Batgirl too, so that would have been interesting. But yeah, man, right now I forget the date, but I think I just found a photo of the rest of the costume, because that's like the top half is all I had. So here's the whole thing. Yeah, this is it. Okay.
Of the Batman costume? 89?
No. This is the Flash. This is the Flash suit,
No.
and I think that we'll get, or I think that I've got a little piece of the Superman. Yep. I got a little piece of the
See,
Superman.
that's something I don't get, is how, okay, they want to reboot. I guess, they call it a blanket reboot or a soft reboot of the DCU.
Right.
But you still going forward with this movie. Like, I don't, right, if we throwing everything else in the bucket and then tossing it in the ocean, then we might as well do this movie too. I mean, I can't even get to see. Well, I'm gonna get to see Batgirl. I'm gonna track that statement. I'm gonna see Batgirl. Somebody gonna leak that, but I'm not worried about that. But this movie, they're putting they're putting
Metaphysics.
so much.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're putting so much emphasis on this movie, but none of it's gonna be used moving forward into the
Right. It's
DCU.
stupid.
So, right,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, they don't want to touch, even though you wouldn't
That's the
really be doing
reason
that.
he's
You would
part
just be
two.
holding a known criminal accountable. But
Right.
it's incompetent. So here we are.
All right, well, Al Mega says he's part of a group of people that can't be touched. So I guess his movies can't be touched either.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is
It's very foolish.
it makes no sense. They literally scrapped everything. Batgirl can't get. Well, I'm gonna see Batgirl. I don't know. If I'm gonna see
somehow it's
Batgirl.
gonna happen.
But
somehow you're gonna
right,
see it.
I'm gonna get that leak. I'm gonna see it. But Henry Cavill's out. You don't want to do Aquaman. That movie might see the light of day, but it's not looking good.
It goes out.
They right. They wanted Ben Affleck back as Batman. Now we don't know. That's in limbo. Everything is in limbo or just not getting done. They put it in a box, tossed it out. Why this movie didn't get that? This movie gave you more headache to put out than any other movie they did this year.
Right.
Last year or the year before.
Yeah, because it's supposed to come out this year on in June. It's supposed to come out this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's gonna work.
June 23rd, I think. Yeah.
Is it?
I have no idea how that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? That's probably
no
going to change again. It's just so stupid. They're dumb. That's why
I mean,
I don't know how you expect people to like support the new slate and you still have this employee who is a criminal and has caused you so much havoc. I really don't understand that.
Yeah, and not just a criminal, but a sexual a weirdo. That's the like if you were just a criminal, I don't know if you robbed a store or something, whatever, but you're like kidnapping young girls and doing weird shit. That's the issue, in my opinion. Like I don't care if you're a criminal per se, but if you're like a sex offender, or that's where it gets problematic, in my opinion. But I did just find the rest of the costume, so. I'm not as happy with it now. But here's the rest of it. I'm a little bit disappointed with the helmet, with the headpiece. But it's got some cool effect. The lightning on the side's really cool. You've got those chrome lightning bolts, but I'm looking now and see the head. It's still helmetish. I don't like the helmetishness. It shouldn't be a helmet. Look at the Flash. It's almost just like a skin tight headpiece. Just like part of the onesie deal, but he doesn't have a fucking helmet, dude. And that's what I hated about the Ezra Miller joint.
Ezra Miller, yeah.
Yeah, CW does a lot better.
Exactly.
They do. The TV show suits fucking way. It's like they're doing too much. Yeah, sexual deviant, exactly. But it's like they're doing too much.
It is.
He's like galoshes on. What are these galoshes? Is he gonna get puddle jumping?
You know what it is? You know what it is, Reno? They're trying. Hollywood's got to understand. We can use our imaginations. They're trying to explain why the suit is the way it is. I remember if you watched them in Justice League, Batman was like, "Oh, this is stuff the space shuttle's made out of. Free entry, it can heat up." Well, you got to understand something. If you're in a lower atmosphere and you're moving fast, you don't heat up. You only heat up coming in to the atmosphere. So he can move as fast as he wants. He's just not going to heat up. You only heat up in the upper atmosphere because there's less atmosphere. It's a little more friction up than it is down, and that all depends on science. We don't need a science lesson when we watch a movie. We want to be entertained. We don't need a science explanation of why his suit is like that. We want to be entertained.
Exactly.
That's what we want.
Yeah, and
right, and that's just it. It's a message. He goes fast. You wear a helmet. Why? We want to be entertained. We don't give a damn.
I don't care about his helmet, like a seatbelt. Right, exactly. You don't
like a seatbelt. Watch out. Right. Thank you.
Like when does the hero hop in the car and we gotta wait? Buckle up here.
Right. Yeah. Then put seatbelt
mirrors.
on. They get in the car and go.
Get in and peel off. Right. It's like we don't need that part because that's not real life. It's too. They're trying to get too practical. It's like the practicality. but it does fucking look badass. I'm not gonna lie, like this does look cool. As a Flash fan, like I am excited. This is way better than the Snyder one by a long shot.
Oh,
But
100%. Yeah.
the
I'm just
galoshes
trying to like
and the
figure out,
helmet.
is Ezra gonna get that bulk? Like, is he that bulky?
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying
That's
to
another reason.
spend.
Well, that's another reason for this.
but the suit's got, it seems to be made of rubber. It probably gives him the muscles.
Yeah,
The muscles
maybe.
seem to be already in there.
Well, that's another
Yeah.
reason for the suit too. Make him look a little bulky,
Yeah.
a little buff, a little more buff like Al Mecca. A little buff like Al.
But stay off the back of his head, and he doesn't need. He's not driving a motorcycle. He's not on a vehicle. The thing with the Flash, I mean, he's going fast, but he's going fast. When you're on a motorcycle, the motorcycle's going fast, and you're just sitting on it. So when it crashes, you fly off. You know what I mean? You're dead. But it's him. He falls. I mean, it's just him. He has full faculty control. The helmet's unnecessary. It's really unnecessary. If the Flash needed a helmet, he wouldn't be much of a fucking superhero. Slade, I will say, shout out Slade, salute. But I will say, Ezra's Barry Allen might need a fucking helmet. Falling down and shit, clumsy as he was. And that was another thing I didn't like. Barry Allen is not like that. Barry Allen is more serious, and more confident, so it just,
they always try to like find a way to spice up Barry Allen, because to me he's frankly very boring compared to someone like Wally West. So they always try to find a way to spice him up, either by injecting Wally West into him, or in Ezra's case, just making him like totally neurotic. And it's just like, nah, I'm good.
Right. I'd rather just be boring, regular cop Barry Allen,
Right. And when the comic creators made these suits, they made them to be flashy, to also hide their identity, and to be a symbol of something. Especially the symbol on his chest. Like, that's why when you see them in the cut, they're so big. When you read about Batman, that's why he said the symbol on his chest was yellow and black. It was bright. Because he was like, look, the most armored part of my suit is here. And that's why I want people to aim at. That's why I put that. That's why he put that there. So they would aim for that. It's just the same thing. Superman symbol is huge on his chest. Batman, Wonder Woman, the big W, even though it's incorporated into her brassiere, it's just a giant W. You can make it out. I mean,
right.
This is, it's kind of cheesy. It's just, listen, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about the suit, but I'm just saying, just, I think they could have did better. Do I like it? Yes. Do I think it could be better? Of course.
It's an improvement.
It's a very big improvement over the last suit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, coming down the road, coming down the pipe to DC, we really don't have like any solid answers yet. They probably haven't decided yet, but a detailed fan-made timeline, in the sort of vein of Marvel's phase system, kind of gave us an idea as to what the first batch of DC Universe projects could look like. After many executive changes at Warner Brothers, Discovery, James Gunn, Peter Safran hired as CEOs, and at the end of the year, and put them in charge of the DCU's overall direction in the coming years. Later this month, he's expected to unveil part of the first slate of projects that will kick off the first chapter in the rejuvenated DC universe. Meanwhile, 4 films, part of the existing universe, are set to release this year, though it remains to be seen like what places they will hold in the revamped continuity. What order they'll go in. Reddit user JM Ranger 1 recently posted a detailed fan graphic imagining of Gunn's DCU Phase 1 timeline, listing 6 possible films and the 3 possible TV shows following Gunn's confirmation that the DCU will branch into series, animation, video games. All that's supposed to be coming, and all of it's supposed to be intertwined with, justifications for each choice. And the timeline takes inspiration from, obviously, MCU's tried and tested method of introducing a main line superhero, in this case, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, in their own projects, but deviates by including a team up with Justice League, earlier on in the phase. In the full timeline, right there on your screen, it's Superman, um, from 2026, and then you've got and then it says Peacemaker down there, and then you got Batman, Cape Crusader. Then actually, I think the order is Superman, Wonder Woman, War of the Gods, then
Yeah, then
Peacemaker
Peacemaker,
show, right? Then Batman, Cape
Batman.
Crusader, then the Justice League film, and then State. What does that say? Smooth. I can't
What is
read
it?
that.
Static Shock.
Static
Yeah,
Shock.
Static Shock.
Okay, yeah, Static Shock. Then you got Green Lantern Corps. Then you've got Green Arrow and the place
Black Canary.
Thank you, and
problem.
Flash
Which
Rebirth.
which I will say, which I will say, it's about damn time. that we
Right?
got
That's
Green Arrow.
true.
Like, come
Oh,
on.
keep that up, man.
They dropped the ball in
Empire
the
Comics.
CW. Like, we need something.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yes,
That's a. But look at the. But Reno, if you could show that again, did you look at the dates?
I know them dates are crazy.
I'm
Yeah,
saying, bro.
look at that.
2029
2027,
it goes to.
2029,
Starts at
2028,
2026 and goes to 2029.
2026.
Who
Yeah.
was waiting?
That's
that long?
3 years from now. 3 years from now. You could have gave us Man of Steel Part 2 before that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. and you know, so far, James Gunn, you know, he's remained super tight-lipped on specifics, you know, regarding his upcoming vision for the whole thing, and there's been a lot of activity until now. It has been long suspected that you know, the Flash movie will kind of be a soft reboot, you know, of the so-called Snyderverse, sort of ushering in this new slate of projects. You know, it's not yet confirmed that this is the case, but Gunn has already shelved a lot of the projects been in development. You know, that Wonder Woman 3, Cavill not returning, and all of that. You know, and the DC will be introducing a younger version of the character, and God, don't let it be John Kent. 'Cause that's like
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be.
Oh my
They
god!
Don't do it.
They
Don't put
do.
that in the ether, bro. Don't
I will
manifest.
die laughing.
Don't machination it. The Warner Brothers Discovery CEO, David Zaslav, has spoken of his, you know, desire for a streamlined, organized MCU-like approach to the DCU films, and with Gunn already making huge, very controversial decisions, you know, it looks to be headed in that way. But it does leave the issue of whether like other scheduled projects like Aquaman and Lost Kingdom will sort of fit into those future plans. How we're gonna get those movies that are supposedly still happening, where they'll fit. But you know, Gunn has definitely made it clear that the new DCU will centralize Superman and Batman. That's gonna be, and which makes sense considering that they're DC's most iconic figures. It's already
Wonder Woman is not a part of that. He can it because it don't make no sense to not have the Trinity at this point.
I agree, and be it Wonder Woman and or if it ends up being like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Green Lantern and Flash, I guess, like the rest of them, kind of doing their thing, and Batman is. But who knows, man? You got to have them all, in my opinion. You can't call it a DCU without all of them. I mean,
no.
They got.
Reno, remember, I read an article, and then I kind of agree with the guy, you know, to an extent. We got to ask the question: have we seen so much of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman that it's just time for something new? Like it's time for 3 new Justice League members to take the forefront for a little bit and kind of back off, because like how many times have we seen Batman?
But we should definitely see some more characters.
Yeah, I think we should see some more after.
No, but that's what he was. Well, that's what he was saying. Well, no, that's what he was saying. He was like,
"Oh yeah,
we've seen so much of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman." No, but he was basically saying take characters like, okay, original Justice League members. So you take Green Lantern, you take, I think it was Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and I think he said Martian Manhunter. It was three original members, and I was Aquaman. He was like push them to
Yeah.
the forefront, and when you do a Justice League movie, like push them, like make it from their perspective, from you know
Oh,
what I
Let me
mean,
put it.
instead of doing it like okay, Batman formed, he went out for the Justice League or Superman, and we had to bring, but he was just like, and I get it. He was like put them up front for a little bit
Yeah.
so that right. What about starting off with Martian Man? That's what he was saying. And I get it, and
Well,
I agree with that because it'll give it a breath of fresh air.
but let me put it like. Let me put. Go ahead, Sada. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Well, let me just put it like this. As film watchers, as fans, like as consumers of movies, yeah, like we've seen enough. It's like we've seen enough Spider-Man. Like we've seen that. We've seen a lot. So just give me something new. That's right. And if Hollywood what it was in the 80s and 90s, and anyone could just pretty much do what they wanted and make these different movies, and this movie can, but now you've got these, they're trying to create this cohesive franchise universe thing that Marvel basically invented, and DC wants to do it too. And like it's this, all these different films, whether it's different filmmakers, whoever's involved, it's all still part of this sort of cohesive unit that's all part of this one thing. And like for that thing, that universe that they want to create like Marvel, that's why they've got to start with the Superman and the Batman, and because they're trying to redo what they tried to do and fucked up with Snyder. So they, unfortunately for us as consumers, we're gonna have to sit through more Batman and Superman, but hopefully that means they'll give us something completely new with those characters.
Right.
Maybe some new villains, maybe do some comic accurate shit. There's a fucking
now that Reno, I wouldn't mind.
That's what I think everybody wants.
If you're going to give us Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, give us more than villains. Cheetah could have been done better. I like the fact that they brought Cheetah in the other, but she could have been done way better.
Yeah.
You could have stuck more to her story. That made more sense than what they did. Superman, as much as they say who we're going to put him up against, there are a few people you can put Superman up against that he can fight physically or whatever. You just don't want to do it. Batman has a rogues gallery.
Too many for Batman.
Yeah. Batman has got a rogues gallery as long as a line outside of Chick-fil-A. So it's you got options. They're just not using them.
Right.
And when they do, they don't do it right. Like Bane is Spanish. Like stop it. He ain't nobody's flunky. He's not nobody's sidekick. He's nobody. He's thank you. He has a Spanish accent. He speaks Spanish. That would be so dope. Why can't you do
it? Like, I mean, like as like a comic book fan, like starting off with Martian Manhunter, that sounds interesting. But as a casual audience, which is the people they want in the seat, you cannot start with Martian Manhunter. They're not going to know what the hell is going on. It's you can't. You have to start with the Trinity and then go from there. If you want to do it like how they did in the Justice League cartoon, where they literally, that's how they introduced Martian Manhunter. He was the center of that story. That's fine. I have no problem with that because he was the focal point. We saw a lot of things from his perspective and all the heroes came together. That's great. But there's no way you can bring about a Justice League and Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are not at the forefront. It's just not going to work. You cannot do it without the Trinity. And they haven't done it right yet, which is why, we've seen a lot of Batman and Superman and a little bit of Wonder Woman, but we have not seen them done correctly. So I would want that first, and then you can do whatever you want. But it's just not going to work, especially if you want the casual audience. If you don't have the big three, it's not going to work. Simple as that, in my opinion. It's just not.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you know, but it that's what I mean by that MCU, that cohesive universe. They're trying to do this for casual fans and for other people to understand what's going on and the whole thing. Like, we're comic fans. You could pop out a Lobo film and some obscure characters, and we'd be sitting right there, hell yeah, eating popcorn, like fuck yeah, this is the shit. And other casual people would be like, what's this? And not and not see it and not even get it and not give it a chance. And that's the hurdle that they've
Now, if they
unfortunately
want to like put Lobo in a Superman film, that's a good way to do it. That's a good way to have him in there and introduce him and get people interested. I wouldn't mind Lobo in a Superman film. Like,
no, for sure. Whatever. But Lobo needs, introducing Lobo, but introduce him in an after credit scene and then give him his own movie. But it's already known, obviously, that Young Superman is going to be the movie that's going to kick off the new era. But and then we'll have to wait until later this month. We'll get to see the following projects that are unveiled by DC, and who exactly will comprise this iteration of the Justice League. And so we'll get all that. And that fan-made timeline that I just showed kind of suggests that Gunn will likely also include lesser-known heroes who could debut on HBO Max as series. And Gunn has already proved that he's capable of actualizing this through his fan favorite.
That I agree with.
Peacemaker.
Now that I agree with. I think that there's gonna be, I think there's gonna be some series spinoff, like Peacemaker, of what because he's gonna jam pack whatever movie he has with a lot of heroes and a lot of villains. Yep. And I think some of them are gonna get. Peacemaker was highly successful, and so they're gonna try to repeat that same success with somebody else. Yeah, I think Green Lantern is gonna be one of them. Justice League, Clockman, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Yeah. And I think that's just what it's gonna be.
That lineup. I don't know why Martian Manhunter is not really a part of the. I'm not sure why he's not in this lineup for like the new DCU. Like, I feel like
I'm thinking if the Snyderverse would have been successful and kept going, I think we would have got him.
Yeah, because he was in the Justice League movie.
Right.
But
that's a character that they've got to bring in after they've established that universe, and they didn't do it with Snyderverse, so they got to do it. They're going to try again. I got faith in James Gunn just because so far everything he's done has been peak. I mean,
spot on. It's been good. Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Peacemaker, what's that? Suicide Squad. Like I can't think of any other comic stuff he's done. I know he did some other stuff, but so far, like, everything he's done is like my favorite of the stuff. So, and that's not to say he can't fuck up, but we don't know. But alongside the main, DCU timeline, there's also been confirmation of Elseworlds projects, which is exciting. Like the Reeves verse, which is the Batman, the upcoming HBO show, The Penguin. The spinoff, and then those projects won't directly be part of that DCU continuity, meaning Gunn would have more freedom with where potential
Henry Cavill, Henry Cavill is Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, they confirmed like that Batverse is going to be separate from the DCU, which I don't really have a problem with. A lot of people
Masada, you said it best. It's to put butts in seats. That Batman movie was so successful.
Yeah,
they would be a fool, and we know Hollywood is a fool, but they're not a fool when it comes to money.
Not when it comes to the bottom line.
When it comes to that money, come to money, on money alone is the reason why the Batman will see the light of day on the big screen again. That is one thing that will guarantee it.
And that's why
Peacemaker.
James Gunn isn't going to touch it. It's
Matt Reeves has been very adamant on keeping it separate from the DCU. And I don't even see Pattinson's Batman interacting with this DCU. It doesn't. I don't know. Doesn't really make sense. So
listen, it don't have to because it was so good. It don't have to. Just keep doing what you're doing and make it better the second time, and we good. Right? We don't need to intertwine everything.
I agree. I don't mind it being separate at all.
Who needs money still?
Everybody needs money.
Yeah, I need money.
Stu, I know you got to go to work, right?
Yeah.
Where you got to go? You got to leave now? You got to leave now?
Yeah. I got something I got to do, man. It was etched in stone a couple weeks ago, man, and I gotta take care of it. So
I feel you.
Love you guys. And I'll see you Monday.
Okay.
Same back time. Same element time. Same element channel.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Peace.
man. Be safe, brother. One.
All right, peace. One.
And that sort of continuity, meaning Gunn would have more freedom with where like your potential stories could go and what stories could be adapted, because it kind of opens up the possibility for one day bringing these projects into the DCU through like a multiverse crossover event, as is suspected to be the case for the MCU's upcoming Avengers Secret Wars. If so, it's definitely evidence that Gunn could be planning very far ahead. You know, he might have this thing mapped out. I mean, beyond that first phase, he might know where he's going. So we don't know. I can't wait to find out though.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, but we mentioned Bane earlier, and I had to. Batman One Bad Day. Bane is coming. Is I think is out. Yes, yes, yes. When does it drop? Let me see. Yeah, I think it just came out yesterday. Wait, what's yesterday? It's Friday? Nah, if anything, come out. It should come out. 17 It's gonna come out Tuesday. Okay, so yeah, Tuesday is gonna come out. Batman One Bad Day, Bane #1. Don't miss it. I mean, you saw the artwork. Bane. It says Bane broke the bat. He's one of the only villains to ever truly vanquish the Dark Knight. But is that all he's ever accomplished? Decades from now, Bane is a washed-up wrestler reliving his old glory days in the ring, defeating someone dressed like Batman every day. But when he discovers that there's a new source of venom in the world, he'll do everything he can to shut down the facility it's coming from for good and make sure that no one takes the poison that ruined his life. An epic saga set throughout Bane's life, expanding on the hopes, dreams, regrets, and failures of one of DC's most legendary villains, brought to you by the iconic creative team of Joshua Williamson and Howard Porter. Now, they did Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths and The Flash and Justice League, but I don't. I'm not. I'm not a super like fan of them just because I don't really know a lot about their work. But I don't know, man. Bane is definitely one of my favorite, hands down, one of my favorite, not just Batman villains, just villains, period. Just comic characters, period. But that synopsis there didn't really sound all that dope to me.
Stu
Like
said it's out now. It came out on Tuesday.
yeah, well, no, it comes out on the 17th. Comes out this Tuesday. But I don't, yeah, like I don't care about. I don't know. It just doesn't sound. That's not Bane. Like I don't want to see Bane as a washed up old wrestler reliving his glory days in the ring, like fighting wrestling old Batman, guys dressed up as Batman. That just seems so sad. And then he discovers that there's a Venom facility and he's going to go stop it, like he's a hero now. I don't
I mean, he can be a sad character, but him going to stop the venom, that seems a little odd. But
I mean, I get that. I mean, yeah, but I guess they're going towards, trying to make him, I guess because he got off the venom or whatever, but like what is the character without that, I'm all for.
I mean, he's really a sad person without the venom because he's so dependent on it.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, for sure. And I'm all for like character development and everything. It's just not when it takes away what's cool about the character. But I'm still gonna check it out. I'm definitely still gonna check it out.
Yeah, maybe it'll surprise you.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna check it out because it is one of my favorite characters, regardless. And the artwork on the covers looks super cool. There's a bunch of variants. Yeah. Zachary Levi doesn't. Okay, all right. So they're talking about Shazam and Black Adam in this article that I found, and this dude's talking about how Drax should play the role of I don't know if he's saying Black Adam or Shazam's villain, but he said the hierarchy of power changed for real. We won't be seeing Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam in the DC universe anytime soon. Probably not ever again. And no one is more bummed about that than Zachary Levi. For years now, the Shazam star, yeah, the Shazam star had been voicing his excitement over getting the chance to punch The Rock in the face one day. But now that dream is over, never to come to pass. And yet Levi shouldn't despair, as there might be an even better choice for his ultimate DC arch foe. Skip through that. Interested in teen. We saw that. Dave Bautista, who is what? Okay, forgive me, guys. I'm reading an article and like a pop-up just came up, but it got in my way. Anyway, it says Dave Bautista is well and truly done with the MCU at this point, but his own pally relationship with James Gunn means the door to the DCU is wide open for him. There are many potential roles for the Glass Onion actor in his rival superhero universe, but seeing as Shazam is crying out for someone of Johnson's stature to duke it out with in his next movie, there would be no better step into that role than Bautista. Shazam's comic book history even provides the perfect role for him. This is what I want to see. Iback is one potential contender. Have you ever heard of Iback?
His name sounds very familiar. I'm trying.
Who knows Iback in the chat? DC character IBAC. Because I've never even heard of him. But again, I do this show because I don't know much about DC and I like to learn about it.
Yeah, he's very familiar.
All right. Oh, I see. He's like a wrestler guy. Oh, yeah. Batista could be that. I don't know how exciting that would be, though. He's kind of boring looking. He's just wearing black pants and no shirt.
Yeah, but Batista could make that interesting, I think. So I don't know. I wouldn't mind that.
But Batista wanted to leave the Drax character because he wears no shirt.
Yeah, that's true.
But like you said, they can make a costume. But it said Eartha, Iback. His alter ego is Stanley Print Whistle, a crook who attempts to blow up a bridge.
Granted powers by Lucifer. Okay.
Oh wow. Yeah. Thrown off due to Captain Marvel, saved by Lucifer. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, Iback, told to speak the magic word Iback. And he transforms into by doing so, the frail, gray-haired criminal transforms into Iback, a brutal muscle man with a buzz cut. Saying Iback again transforms him into Print Whistle. So I guess it's following the Shazam thing.
Yeah,
say a word and you turn into something.
Yeah, his setup is he has his powers. He has terror from Ivan the Terrible, cunning from Caesar Borgia, fierceness from Atlia the Hun, and cruelty from Caligula. Yeah.
Caligula. Right. Okay. So IBAC. Right. The pre-crisis version claimed not to have invulnerability, but he was very resistant. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah.
I dig it. Sounds interesting.
It's interesting, right? And it's somebody different that we haven't seen before. And what else did he say? But the character of a criminal who gains the abilities of Shazam would be too similar to Black Adam's Sabak to really warrant an adaptation right now. Instead, let's have Bautista play King Kull, one of the hero formerly known as Captain Marvel's oldest enemies. The ruler of the barbaric prehistoric beastmen, Kull is not only a hulking brute, he's also possessed of a genius intellect, making him like a blend of Conan the Barbarian and Bautista's beloved Bane. Did Bautista play Bane?
Huh? Played? I don't think he ever played Bane.
No, but why is it Bautista's beloved Bane? Dave Bautista reveals the two DC Comics characters he wants to play most. Okay. And he said Bane, and Lobo.
And Lobo, interesting. Can't see him as Lobo. Bane.
Yeah.
But I don't want another white guy to play Bane.
Right. But is Batista
So
white?
is he? I don't
I
know.
don't know. Batista sounds like. Well, no, I guess that
But
could be, that's French. Yeah, maybe he's white. But he said. But you're right. I mean, I really we need a Latino Bane. We need Bane to be, like
he
his
was born in DC.
luchador. I mean, he's a luchador. Like that's what his whole. Come on, guys. Like you slipped with the whole Tom Hardy Bane thing. I don't even know.
I mean, he is a wrestler, so I can see why he said that.
Yeah.
And I guess it would be like fitting. And I know he wants to be taken more seriously, and Drax did not provide him that, so that would help with that goal of his. So
yeah,
like I'm not totally against it, but I would like an actual like Latin Spanish Bane. So
right. What did he say? He said, yeah, two DC characters he's desperate to play. He said, it would be Bane all day long. I made no secret about this. I want to play Bane so bad. I want to play Bane so bad that I went to Warner Brothers, had an appointment with them, had an appointment with DC, walked in the door and said, I want to play Bane. They were like, whoa, we're not even casting Bane. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm playing him. And they were like, well, but it'd be that. Oh, okay. Otherwise, I would really like to take a look at Lobo. I'd be interested in somebody to see what somebody could do with Lobo. I'd be all over that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't want him as either character really, but
yeah.
I can see, why he would want to play them, sure. But yeah, this guy, he said superhero cinema is obsessed with ancient hidden kingdoms right now, from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, to the upcoming Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So I don't think that means that it's obsessed with ancient kingdoms just because it's in 1.5 movies. But Shazam 3, featuring Kull and his race of primitive yet technologically advanced beastmen, feels like a real possibility. And if the filmmakers think Kull isn't enough of a sell on his own, they could always borrow a genius idea from the Batman, the Brave and the Bold cartoon, which combined Kull with a more iconic villain, Vandal Savage. Please don't do that. The fact that we won't have the promised Shazam vs. Black Adam fight, nor even grander Shazam vs. Black Adam vs. Superman mega match, is somewhat disappointing, but Shazam 3 still has the potential to be the most thrilling of the trilogy. If only Gunn hires Batista to step into The Rock's shoes, punching him in the face instead has got to be just as much fun for Levi, right?
So Shazam is making the cut, because I didn't think he would make the cut. I mean, I don't know.
So far, they've not.
I mean, I think he was actually on vacation with
But to punish the Shazam
or Gunn, he was on vacation with one of them, Levi. So maybe he is safe, which is just ridiculous. But okay.
Oh, okay.
How he's Greek and Filipino. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I'm not like entirely against it, but like honestly, I could see that. I don't know a lot. I only know who Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and Dave. So I only have like 3 options to go for. And out of those 3, I would say he's the best of the 3 for me.
Yeah. There's noir and it rains weed. Become weed man. Yeah. Oh man. Since we're on James Gunn, he approves of a Deathstroke defender suffering a serious case of mistaken identity, as well as having been in the headlines and placed under the microscope by fans for the characters that don't factor into his plans for the DCU. James Gunn has also stirred the speculative pot in regards to those who could be tempted to bring back. He could be bring back from the brink of irrelevance. That's a tongue twister, isn't it? Bring back from the brink. All right. The first decade of the superhero franchise was repeatedly plagued by near misses and wasted opportunities, with a few standing out from the pack more than Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke.
Oh, Deathstroke looked amazing.
I
What
mean,
a waste.
damn. Like that
What
was
a waste.
I'm telling you, bro. That was the biggest loss, man. That might have been the biggest loss. At one stage, the assassin was due to appear in Zack Snyder's Justice League sequels, face off opposite Ben Affleck in the original version of the Batman, headline a solo movie helmed by the Raid's Garth Evans, and concept art revealed he was also said to be part of the Suicide Squad. In the end, all we ended up with were a couple of brief cameos, but Gunn's recent social media activity hinted that he wasn't against the idea of Slade Wilson making a comeback. Slade Wilson, this is your boy. Unfortunately, the fandom has been making their pitches to the wrong person, with the Guardians of the Galaxy filmmaker liking a tweet aimed at Gareth Evans, although in this case, it's the editor of Motorcycle News and not the action maestro. Yeah, we'll be finding out what Gunn has in store for the DCU by the end of the month, though. Like I said before, and we're halfway at the. I don't know when it's coming, but one of these DC days, one of these next couple Saturdays, I will have the whole, thing that Gunn has laid out for us. So,
and I hope so. Yeah. Month is wrapping up. They gotta hurry up.
Man, we are like halfway done here. But a rumored frontrunner emerging for James Gunn's Superman stirs up a hot DC debate.
Oh, yeah. Well, get my Google ready so I can look up this person.
All right. I'm seeing who they're talking about here. Oh, Jacob Elordi.
Oh, no. I saw that. No. He is the guy from Euphoria. Jacob.
Oh.
Yeah. He plays what is his name? Nate. He plays Nate Jacobs in Euphoria, and he was a part of the Kissing Booth movies. So absolutely not.
No. Yeah, no. I'm looking at his picture now. This kid, that's an annoying face. I don't even want to see that face.
He's talented, but he's not gonna go for Superman, a young Superman. No, absolutely not.
No.
I don't even know how you debate that. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, that's not good.
I don't even know how you debate that. He's not giving young Clark like.
Yeah, and I'm quite concerned about this young Superman movie, man. I don't know what we're gonna get, and again,
yeah, I don't even want a young Superman movie.
I really don't. And I only know one person again who is like a super Superman fan, and that's my man Spadeonomics Comics. Shout out to Spade from the Comic Dudes. And I keep forgetting to ask him what he feels about it because as not a Superman fan, really, I really just like Man of Steel. I really like Cavill Superman. I was never a big fan of Superman per se. I mean, of course, when I was a little kid, everybody liked the movies. But I still, that wasn't that's not the kind of characters that I was drawn to. Cavill made it a little darker, or at least the movie made it a little darker, and it became something I was definitely more into. But, so that makes me, I guess, a very loosely casual Superman fan. But maybe Superman fans want to see a young Superman movie. Maybe that's like a great thing. I'm
not against it. I feel like at this point in time with what they're trying to do with resetting, I don't know why young Superman is the way they want to go. Like a part of me was like, oh, I'm going to do this so that if, they want to connect the Batverse, then the young Batman is with the young Superman, because I don't see any other reason why to do that. But, those universes are separate. So I guess they just want to. Yeah, we've never had a young Superman on film, so I guess there's a market for that. So I'm not entirely against it. I'm not sure who would be able to fit that right now.
Right.
The role of young Superman.
Yeah, and when they say young Superman, does that mean young Clark Kent? That's what you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
that
I would
could
hope
mean
so.
John Kent. Yeah, I mean, I hope, and I don't know if these John Kent rumors are just made up rumors or if there's actual, something behind that. But I think it would, I wouldn't be really surprised, if they went that route. A gay Superman character. Wouldn't surprise me. It would, I think, be a very wrong move. For the bottom line, I don't think it would be at all successful. But I'm not like against it. I just don't really care about Superman that much, I guess. But this kid put up his new. This is what he said the Superman should look like in the new DCU.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, and I guess it looks really cool. It does, and I guess he got a lot of positive feedback from it, and so he tweeted something that I think would be fucking spectacular, but I doubt we'd ever get, and that's a blue and gray Batman.
Oh, that would be so amazing. I would love that. Oh,
fuck yeah.
I mean,
Black Suit Batman has been around since Keaton, and they've just never let it go. And I get it. I get that Batman probably should have been originally designed with a black suit, black and gray. And maybe he might have been, but maybe colors and printing and comics. I mean, we all know a lot of characters get their colors because of the way comics were printed back in the day. But man, I just something really nostalgic and just iconic and just cool about that gray and blue suit. I just love it. I just really love it. And I would love to see it not spandex on like a flabby old guy like the 1966 Batman. Like, I want to see what that gray and blue suit can look like, when they really hook it up.
Yeah, that would be nice, especially if they're doing a young Superman. That the blue and gray could be like for a younger Batman or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah. Because I mean, he wore the blue and yellow for decades in the comics and any animation and in the first shows, but rarely has he ever had these colors in live action. I can't think of it other than the old 60s show. But this guy, digital artist, Matthias goes by the name at Smart Cheap Art on Twitter. But he posted the image of a possible Batman outfit for future DC movies. And yeah, the suit incorporates like Batman's older colors, and it features the yellow chest oval, which is right out of Tim Burton's '89 Batman film, it works really well with it. 3 extra prongs on the bottom half of the bat symbol, and his utility belt is more reminiscent of his modern look with the pouches instead of the tubes that line the belt from the 70s to the 90s. Which are the 3 decades most commonly associated with the blue and yellow, 70s, 80s, and 90s. But he also posted that alternate version of the suit with longer ears and a black color scheme, which is much more similar to the. My dog is walking around in here. She's just a puppy. She doesn't know, and she might think one of my collectible pieces is a chew toy, so I got to keep an eye on her. She might not know better, but yeah, it's okay. You want to see her? Come here, big girl. Oh, you big girl. Oh, look at the big husky.
Wow,
how big she is.
Oh my goodness, and only a puppy.
Yeah, she's about 7 months, I think.
Oh my goodness.
You're on camera. Look, you're on camera. You're on the cameras.
Probably does. That's why she's like moving her head like, I'm done.
No, know these people. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. She's got one blue eye and one brown eye, which is a very common husky, trait. Well, not a really common husky trait, but it's common in huskies, but it's still rare. It's still cool.
Yeah.
And she just sits up under me all day. But yeah, man. Hold on, let me see. We got some comments rolling out here.
Okay.
Hear me out, Tom Hardy as Deathstroke. I take that back. I mean, I do have fan castings. No, David Cornsweat.
Oh, that was the guy that you showed in that Superman photo. That was the guy.
Right.
So I actually like that one. I wouldn't mind if he were the young Superman. He visually looks good.
Yeah. Aaron Taylor Johnson. That's who played Kick-Ass, I think.
Yeah. And Quicksilver. Can't see him as a young Batman.
No, not Batman. I could see him as a young Superman, maybe. I don't know. Not maybe his jaw isn't square enough. I think maybe. If it's John, I might die. I really would. Have a great night, fam. Whip. All right, brother. I'd rather have Max Fleischer instead.
Oh, that's the one with the real pointy ears. I think
I love that one.
That would be interesting. They've never really brought that to screen.
Yeah, no. You mean the Nightfall Batman with like the long, super long ears?
Like
Nightfall's Batman, the ears are like almost a foot off his head.
Oh no, they're like reasonably.
Okay, don't notice me. Bye. Oh, shit. Hey, Derpy 501st, man. If you're still here, I'm sorry, bro. I can't sometimes see the chat at the same time as the video, but I wasn't ignoring you, brother. I just didn't see it. Didn't see the chat. But yeah. Sorry, Sada. What were you saying?
Oh no, I think they're like of reasonable height. I think they're not like super long, but like I like that design. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That would be very interesting. I doubt they would do it as like the main look for him for that universe. Maybe in like a spin-off like show or something, Elseworld type of thing. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah. Matt Reeves says that he's meeting James Gunn to ensure that the Batverse and the DC universe don't crash together. They said they want to support each other. However they could do that, I guess.
Because those are going to be pretty separate. I don't mind that at all. I mean, a lot of people are shocked by this news, which I don't really understand. I mean, we've had months of advance notice because he's been so adamant on keeping it separate. So I figured, I mean, we already knew what it was. So I don't mind keeping those separate. I think trying to connect everything is just not going to work because at some point it's going to feel like you have to do homework. And once you start feeling like that, you've already lost. So,
Gunn, James Gunn said, we know we're not going to make every single person happy every step of the way on Twitter, but we can promise everything we do is done in service of the story in capital letters and in the service of the DC characters in capital letters. We know you cherish, and we have cherished our whole lives. And then Reeves said, look, I'm excited to hear what they're going to do. The Batverse thing, as James has said and Peter has said, is kind of its own thing they're letting us do. So I guess that means like, they're letting them do their Batman stuff because let's be honest, it's wildly.
Yeah, I mean, they already have stuff planned out. They have spinoffs and stuff planned out. I mean, we have more of a slate for that than we do for the main DCU. So,
yeah, exactly. So it's kind of a joke that they're letting us do it. Like they kind of need you to. They kind of need you to right now. It's all they really got. That anybody's like, confident about,
Yeah, because we don't really have anything else to grasp onto because we still don't have a slate. So I'm just like, come on, guys.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see later this month. Like I said, there will definitely be a slate given to us by Gunn. So we'll definitely have that up here one of these DC power hours, maybe next week, maybe the week after. But yeah, guys, so we're here every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also pretty much every day for the next several days, I'll be editing and uploading parts of the Esso and Heineken bag fuel interview that we did yesterday. 2 parts are already up on YouTube now, so you can check those out. Part 3 and 4 I should have up either tonight or tomorrow. I'll try to get them up tonight. But that's it, guys. We'll see you Monday.
Hold on, I gotta get the door. Sorry about that.
Okay. We'll see you Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all already know every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's New York time, Sixth Element of Hip Hop. Right here, guys. We'll be here live for y'all. So I'll see y'all Monday. Peace.